Hi and welcome. I am Lotte and this is Made of Yarn. I will talk about mostly knitting today and some more. Not crochet. Usually I mostly have some crochet also, but not today, to show you at least. I will talk about what I have knitted, what I'm knitting on, and also about something about solar dyeing. The summer is here now in Sweden, and a heat wave. So I'm sitting on the porch at the back of the house right now, and the sun is turning around. So I hope I can record this before the heat will come, and then I will go inside and have the air condition on. Actually, it will be really hot today. Welcome you new viewers, new subscribers, and old ones also. I'm so grateful that you take your time to visit me. As I said, my name is Lotte. On Instagram I am Gjort av Garn. It's the same as Made of Yarn. Before the podcast also was named Gjort av Garn, but many of you didn't understand that I also had this in English, so I changed the name. I heard a car. I thought it was my husband who are coming home. He's working fast today because he will go to the beach as soon as he can, and I will go inside. I have some problem with my I have some chronic illness, so I get fever from when it's too hot. So I go inside then and knit and watch some podcasts. I'm checking. I have my notes beside me, so I will check what I will talk about. Well, what I am wearing. It's just a T-shirt I made up in my head some years ago. It's a mix between it's cotton and linen. It's from a Swedish brand, Järbo. So Järbo, no, Colin. It's lovely to wear now. No pattern at all. If you see here in the back, I will move this one. I made from another yarn from almost the same company. The whole company is called Edna, and they have several branches, to say so, of yarn. So they have they started with Järbo, and then they bought also Svarta Fåret. So they have that under their roofs, so to say, and they also have they sell Eastex from Iceland. Sorry. Many others also. Anyway, this is a pattern from sorry. She is I talked about her before. She is I will say it in the right order. Swedish-Finnish designer. She lives in Finland, but it's in the Swedish talking area. Victoria Snellman, Lycke Liten. You can find her on her. She has her own website. She's not on Ravelry. This is, and she has patterns in English also. So this is Mammas Gullvingetop. I forgot to check if she has another name in English. Anyway, it's a cute lace wing here, and just a plain straight So this is for my daughter Lovisa. In this yarn, Svartafoss Cecilia, I guess it's like most of you know about the Norwegian. Is it Sandnes who has it? Line. Sorry, Line. So it's cotton, viscose, and linen in it. It's lovely to work on. Actually, I had the yarn because I should test knit a sweater, lovely sweater. But to knit, I didn't get the gauge with the needle that was set. You can, it says 4 here, and also in that pattern I didn't get the gauge. So you should see. Oh, sorry. You should see. It was meant to be around 15 to 20 centimeters. I don't know in inches. Positive ease on it, but when I knitted, I had a 100 millimeter cable. 100 millimeter? Centimeter? Nah. Well, I had. I forget what I said. I saw on the needle that it was too bulky, so to say. So I put it on an extra needle, and it was way too big. So then I ripped it up, and I got down a needle size, and I didn't get the gauge then either. But also what I got was ache, because then I had to knit harder, so to say, and to knit with cotton and linen, it's no bounce at all. So I sadly had to write to the designer and say that I shouldn't manage to do it in time without hurting myself too much. So it was okay with her. So then I had the yarn, so then I made this instead in the right the needle size that I said here, and then it was okay to knit with it. Another thing that I made for the same designer, a test knit for the family's my brother's granddaughter Daisy. She will be 3 soon. The pattern isn't out yet, but soon. You see details you have missed here, so I had to make something there. Well, it's a nice. I forgot what. Well, I can put the name here. So this is in this Finnish. It's Finnish wool. Novita 7 Brothers. But I thought perhaps I would do something else here in the. What is this called? In this border, or so to say. So I don't know if you now see the sun is coming around. So I have one strand. No. Oh, it's actually Holst Coast. It's about the same color as this one. And then I had 2 strands of something from a silk mohair. I made some. I actually crocheted around the border here because the edge here was too flappy. So for once I have something to show you. Otherwise I send it away to her as fast as I can. But it's too hot now to have on the evenings, perhaps. Of course. I made her also another cardigan. I can put in a photo also. That was let's see the notes. That was where is the notes? Here, Kids Porter Cardigan of Gudrun Johnson. I test knitted it. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago. And she loved it, or at least her mother. I have too little battery in my phone, so I had to talk fast, or I can cut it perhaps. I will talk fast now. I made this, but then she wanted a new one anyhow, so I made her a new one. Actually, I think I will pause this now, and I will come back, and I will charge the phone. See you soon. Hi again. I hope the phone is charged enough now. It was so hot to even to touch. It's getting towards the 6th year, so it's an old phone I have. And I forgot to check what I talked about before. I talked about this one. I haven't talked about what I'm knitting on. It was a knit along and just for a month from a Norwegian designer. I have it under another project. Sorry here. She's Wenche Roald. She made a new pattern amazingly. It's a nice sweater. Sorry, I've seen it in so many Norwegian podcasts. The name is Vilfreda, and even on a Grocery Girls podcast they showed it. I think the last episode they had, they talked about this pattern. I don't know if you see this at all because it's black. Can you see something? When I check this afterwards, if you can't see anything, I can put in a photo of the project she has. Anyway, Vilfreda, so many made it, and she had a knit along for a month, so I jumped on it. And then also a Swedish podcast. They just has it in Swedish. They talked about making a knit along for us here during the summer to knit in black, because it's easier to, when you have the light, to knit in black. You see the stitches better now. So then so asked if I could take this one. I had already started this one, so I was allowed to do it. Then I put it aside, and we moved rooms here. We had the bedroom upstairs before, and we took it down to our old bedroom here. We have 7 rooms and kitchen in this house, just me and my hubby now. Before we had 4 children here, but so we can choose which room we want. The problem upstairs, even though I love that room, it's something wrong with the isolation. So in the winters it's so cold, but then you can wear knitwears, can't you? But in the summer it's getting like a sauna. And also the stairs, and I am home chronically ill, for those who don't know it. So it some periods I got worse. I get fever from it. To walk, to move, to do things at all, I can get quite high fever. So I wanted to come down here to our old bedroom, and the energy that I lost in the stairs, I can go out and water my plants instead and enjoy the garden. Anyhow, I took down much of my yarns and my project bags, and I lost this one. I couldn't find it. So the month for with the knit along for Wenche Roald, for this one, it went out, so to say. But I continue now for the Swedish one, because I found it behind some yarns in my craft room. I can't understand why it was there. Anyway, I found it, and it's a lovely pattern. Anyway, it reminds, many say it reminds of Ranunculus, Love Note, this kind of, because you knit on 6mm needles and in a DK weight. I have two yarns. I have one is this Eastex Einband, and the other one is, do I have it? Is a pre-yarn or unspun yarn from a local mill we have here called Filtmakeriet. It is black, but it's a black tweed, so I don't know at all if you can see. No, I don't think you can see. When you check, it's like it could even be dark brown green. But when you see it, it looks black, but it's lovely. So the fabric will, it's more, it's not like so cold black, it's more warm. I talked in the Swedish, I recorded Swedish podcast before here, and in the 80s it was so much this with I got a book, I don't know the author, but Color Me Beautiful. I don't know if it's so many know about it, but they talked about this with you are a season, you are a season, or you can be a summer, spring, autumn or winter, depending on what makes you look, if you have warm or cold colors. So I know the only ones who should have black is winter, and I know I'm not a winter, but you can have so much other things. I mean, like earrings and shawls and so on. But it could be fun. A fun detail with black, but it's not easy to find always the right clothes in the right colors, depending on the fashion for that year, for example. So I'm knitting on that one. I have some more also inside, but that will be for another time. What I have here on the porch that I started last year, actually. Oh, I have you seen it? I forgot when I started to cast off. I have this sewn bind off that I should measure on my daughter Lovisa. So when I had so much left to bind off, I remembered that I should check on her first. But I have it. I haven't sewn it. It's there, so I can frog it and make it longer if it's needed. Anyway, last year I started on Ranunculus and I don't know if you can see it. Perhaps it's a clear navy blue. I have no idea if you see it. In linen. This Järbo I talked about before, Järbo linen. So I let it rest because when I didn't finish it last year, because it's not easy to knit always with cotton and linen. You get ache from it. I get ache from it. So it have been resting the whole winter, and my plan was to finish it this winter, so I had it to wear now. But did I do that? No. But it's almost finished in the body, and then I will just have shorter sleeves like this, I guess, and a tank top or something under afterwards, or a dress, something. So I have this here on the porch, just so good when I go and lay down I knit also in the same time. What more that I will start from the beginning. I will take some sip of water. I actually fried some eggs during the time that I so I had some lunch when I waited on the charger and the phone to charge. I have some years before made some solar dyeing, so I started this year also, and I'm reading. I try to read. It's not so much in Swedish, so I read more on English sites that I can find, and I make notes. So one I can put also in a short movie here. How I started. This is a heavy one. This is with birch, and it's just a white 2-plied wool that I will put it down. It's so heavy. They say that birch before midsummer is the best to pick it because it's so fresh and releases best color, I guess. So what I have in this one inside also is this one you have to have mordant in, so I have alum in it. I mix it in the water. You can of course do it before the yarn in alum, but I also saw, and I tried this last year also, to have it all in one pot. And this will stay outside in the sun for a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks or something, or when I'm satisfied with the color. You can see it's lemon yellow something. It looks like that now. So I am experimenting. This I made before, but I'm experimenting also with, and that was a glass jar. So I googled if it's possible to, because I have some jars that are plastic, so if it's possible to do it with that. So I'm experimenting. So this one is with red and yellow onion skins, and I let it stay just with water and onion skins first a couple of days, actually, just to see what will happen. So the water was already nice orange, peach orange something, and then I just also, because I waited on, I ordered some yarn that I got yesterday, but I couldn't wait, and then I had one skein, and not what's that? I lost the word, but one skein. So I have it. Usually you have to. Man, what? I am sorry. It's the heat is coming to me now. You have it in like this. What's that called? You make it like this, so it's easier for the color to come into all the fibers. Anyway, I just took a skein and pushed it in, just to see, and if it's not, if the color doesn't reach in the middle inside, it doesn't matter, because it can be a nice gradient. I will experiment and see. And the interesting, I also try to read about this with mordant. Oh, sorry, that because some you have some leaves, and so it was like the onion skins here. They have natural mordant in tannins inside, and this tannins is a mordant. So I don't have an alum inside here. That was what I was planning to say. I don't know. Can you? No. I'm so sorry. When it's done, I will show you. Then yesterday the yarn came. I ordered 4 white and 4 light natural grey. So I took the one of the whites, and now I'm experimenting with tea. So it will be quite not fun to rinse it from all the tea leaves. Oh, I had both tea leaves and tea bags. Do you say so? So this is and tea. I read about that. Also, tea and coffee is one of those who have these natural tannins inside. So this will also be interesting. What colors will I get from it? It's also, I guess, depending on the tea. It's black tea, but some have more red, because I sometimes make it died now this kombucha myself, but the how do you say it, sponge, the one that it died, so I have to buy some new one, and then I have ecological tea to make it, and also sugar to make it this kombucha. So I see depending on the tea I get different colors also on my kombucha, so that's why I think it will be the same with the yarn. So I'm not sure yet what more I will try for the moment. I read perhaps I will try, I'm looking at now on my apple tree. I read about leaves, apple leaves, and also the bark. Is it bark? And the bark has also natural tannins. I want, perhaps I will dig up, ask someone dig up some root from my rhubarbs. I don't know if that's so possible in solar dyeing. I know perhaps it has to boil or something. I will read about it more. But it's so fun. It's so fun. Sadly, we have such a heat wave here, so much is, well, the trees are okay now, but it's the grass is just brown now. It's so hot. So I don't have so much flowers yet to try. Perhaps I can take some of my geraniums to also. Many times when you think you will have these colors, but then they just turn brown. Or I will also experiment in time with this too, when you can add something, some acids or some basic things, so you can get different colors just by that. If you have a rusty nail or something else, the outcome will be a total and other color. I know I made lemonade from lilacs this summer, and then I come to think about that I'm talking Swedish now. I also made for many years lemonades from. I'm staring at my rose bush. Lemonade from roses, and we call it, when the children was small, we call it princess lemonade, because it's tastes and smells really like when you have roses with that smells. Then you get the flavor also from it. Anyway, they can also be brown. The lemonade can look brown, the leaves. But when you pour some lemon inside, all of a sudden it gets pink. So something like that can be also be in, I guess, in this dyeing process. So it's a learning process also for me, and it's so fun. It's so fun to experiment and then plan what I will do with all the yarns afterwards. I will show you also, we made a tour outside on the country here, me and my husband, about a week and a half ago. He was free, and it was in a dyer here from Sweden. She has a car that she gets around in Sweden and sell yarn, and this is the place here is called, in Swedish, Träslottet. It's wooden castle. It's an old building, buildings, and it's a typical Sweden. It's so beautiful. So I made some footages and some I recorded some. We wait on the bus, or what it was. I interviewed her, so it's sadly in Swedish, but I will not show you everything because perhaps it's not, you don't understand, and I can perhaps have some translation, he'll write for you, but just so you can see some of the beautiful places here in Sweden. Oj, här var det en brant trapp. Den var brant. If I have energy, and I will force my husband. He will not be forced. He will do it. We will make some also trips to. I talked about before. We have not so far away. We have mills and some yarn shops. Some I will point at that direction. We have. A shop called Växbo Lin. Växbo is the place, and they have linen, and the area around. So I will go and film there and see the history behind, because the area we live in is typical for they have had so much many hundred years ago linen. They growed flax and made linen from it, and they came from all over the Sweden to this place, and so they could they are still the small houses, like boxes. They slept in, and during the day they prepared the linen, like the flax, so it could be linen afterwards. I don't know if you understand a word of what I'm saying, but I will show you if I come there, and I will talk about it. And it's such a beautiful place. It's called Trolldalen. I don't know why. Troll is a troll, and the Troll Valley is something, but it's such a beautiful place. Yeah, and they have some shops with, and they prepare. They still have the old. They save the old houses and things. I'm sorry. I will show you. It's better than search for words that I can't find. I wonder. Oh, I had to check my notes if I talked about everything. No, I haven't talked about. I made. My daughter Lovisa wanted a big grey sweater. She saw a. Oh, she's famous here in Sweden. She's a kind of influencer, I guess. And she saw her with this grey big sweater, oversized sweater, and she asked if I could make one for her, and I could. And I don't know if you can see anything at all. It's just with some drop shoulders, and it's you have here in the back this they called European shoulder. It's when it the this go down in the back. This go down. I can't even find the words for this one. So it's just a plain grey, and I haven't sewn in the ends yet because I washed it yesterday and blocked it over the night. So I will do this. And I wanted to show you this before she takes it home. And it's knitted in Holst Coast, so it's about 50% wool and cotton. Oh, 50% cotton or something like that. With 3 strands, actually, and also on big needles. So I guess it will be a nice, she said, to have on Swedish summer nights. For the moment we have, as I said, a heat wave. But the nights are still not really warm. But that I guess it will change this week. I can show you also back to when I talked about this, what I bought from this woman with the yarn car on wood at the wooden castle. So I bought some yarn from her, a sock yarn. I had plans for a jumper weight or so, enough yarn to make a jumper, pullover or cardigan of another yarn, but I forgot it because I saw so much else. This is a nice merino sock, it's called, because what I saw, it was this one. Me and orange. I love orange. So this is her. It's merino and mulberry silk. It's so soft. It's so soft, and it's orange. And then also I saw this one for our new family member, our son Hampus' girlfriend Charlotte. She loves purple. So I bought some, and this is interesting. It calls Retro 1. My plan was to buy Retro 2 because it's like she said, you can if people who don't think Let Loop, for example, are too stitchy or so itchy, you can use this. But for me, it's not a problem. But I was interested in that yarn, but I forgot it because I bought this instead. Sorry, they're rumbling so much. This one is, she bought, it's a camul, I don't know what is in English, and it's soft. She bought it from an old mill not far from here, so I think it's at least 50 years old, if I understood her right. One woman bought 9 ton, I don't know how much, so 1 ton is 1,000 kilo. It was a lot of yarn one other bought, but this woman Lisa, she bought the leftovers from her, so she dyes on the both. The number one is 380 meters and the other one is 220, I think it was, like something like that. But I'm glad that they during the summer they have this. She has a room there with yarn, so you can just go there and buy. They don't have any one to check it out, so you can take whatever you like in the yarn, and then you just you send money, and then you go home. So she said, I trust yarn people, and it's wonderful. So because I really like something, it's soft. It's real wool, but it's soft. And I'm thirsty. So I hope I can do some tours around here this summer, so I have something more for you to show. Next month, it's June now, so I started July last year, so it's a year I have podcasted now. So I'm so grateful for those who have who have been here all the time, and also for new ones. So I hope you have enjoyed some of this, and that you will come back and look what I have more to show you next month, perhaps, or when I will record the next time. I think I will check also if, in case that I have more. No, actually, I will say something here that I talked about in the Swedish also. When will design be? I don't know the English word. Be we have, if I say like this, we have a nice designer here in Sweden, Anna Sjösvärd. She has a podcast also in English, and she makes beautiful, mostly cropped sweaters and cardigans, and so they are lovely. Anyway, she showed on Instagram sweaters that she is making. She made it already, and some designer turned to her and said that it was her design. So where is the line? When can you say that she didn't know about this? I know, we know also that there is some companies that we here in Sweden, many here in Sweden, don't want to have something to do with them, because they take other patterns from designs and make them their own. So that's not nice. But when you perhaps don't know about this other, you can't, you can't, how do you say these sayings? You can, I forgot it. I just have it in Swedish. You can't invent the wheel again, something like that. I mean, for example, this with no, we can say no frills cardigan, a sweater from Petit Knits. That's a plain sweater that you can find so many like that one, and you can't say, oh, she took that one from me. So where are the I forgot the words again. Another, because also I once tested it for the Petite Knitter, not Petit Knits, the Petite Knitter, her first design. So I follow her. She makes such beautiful patterns. She wrote, I don't know when, that she on Instagram also, that a designer turned to her more angry, that meant that she had stolen her patterns and made 2 patterns, if I understand it right, that she took from her and made 2 patterns and made this one for herself. And she wasn't either, no, she wasn't, do you say so? She wasn't aware of these patterns, like our Swedish Anna wasn't aware of this other pattern. For example, another, if you say like this, Pia Trans, a designer from a Danish designer, she also had this podcast, fabulous 50 Fabulous Knits. She is, if you're following her and see, she is knitting on, she started to knit, I don't know if it's like a wrap or something, but think like a panel, and she makes like triangles in black and white. But then she saw another designer, she already had what she had planned in her head. It was already a finished pattern. So Pia bought this pattern, and saw that it was exactly what she had in her head. So Pia said that she will not release it herself, because this is already out there. Another example, I knit a lot for many years now for Tracy in Grocery Girls, and she made some years ago a short socks with some lace pattern, and in the same time Jorge Locatelli made almost the same pattern, unaware of each other, and they are really good friends also. But Jorge said that I will wait to release my pattern. Tracy can make it first, release it first, and then I can release mine in some months or so. And she did. So it wasn't any competition or so, but because they meant that is room enough for everyone to make it. So it's so sad when I get sad when others get sad. That's why I started to talk about this, because I got so sad when Anna wrote this. So, I don't know her, but when she got sad over it, and she's so much work behind a pattern, and she makes them so thoroughly, and they are so perfect. But I hope she will release it anyway. That's what I was thinking about. I showed you Lovisa's, and I talked about I think it was all. Thank you for listening, for visiting me here in my home here in Sweden. Did I say that I come from Sweden? I don't know. I do. About in the middle of Sweden on the east coast. I wish you the best. I hope you will have a lovely summer, also where you live. And so we'll see each other perhaps in a month's time or so, if I have something to show you. Wish you the best. Bye.